And like I said, I just quoted my partner Mike Fisher. We call him Facebook Fish. He always says, stop waiting around to be perfect before you take action, because imperfect action trumps perfect inaction. So what I want to do is bring you up a shining example of that right now, and I call him Mr. Branding himself, and that is AJ National, Mr. Alex Jimenez. He's going to come up here right now and teach you guys how to be a badass brander and really get your name and your logo out there. He's a dear friend of mine. He has a huge heart to serve veterans, and I'm honored to have her in our presence here today. Alex, bring me on.
First, thanks everybody for being here. I know a lot of you guys have busy schedules just like we do. To take the time to further your education to help veterans means a lot. So thank you everyone that took the time to show up here today. Thanks to Fish and Jay for putting on this event. It allows us to do extra things that people in our market aren't doing. What I'm going to cover is marketing and branding. This is the way to get out there so people know what it is you do. They know that you help veterans. In my area, people know that I am the VA specialist. I'm not an expert, because an expert knows all. I'm a specialist because I continue to learn, continue to grow. All right, we go to this first slide. What is branding and why is it important to us as professionals? Branding creates an identity in the marketplace. Just like anything else, if you drive down the road, you see the McDonald's arches, you know that's a hamburger joint. They got shitty food, but you can pick up a burger if you're hungry and you're cheap. Having that brand out there allows your realtors to know what you specialize in and what it is that you want to do. By the way, don't send that to McDonald's, what I just said. I can sue like Oprah. Branding allows people to recognize you and your efforts and not the shortcomings of others who may have come before you. Remember Jay talked about the loan officer that fucked up on VA deals and how he didn't want to do them before? Well, now people know that you're a VA specialist, so they know they can identify and come to you with those VA mortgages. A lot of people want to identify themselves as being great at everything. That doesn't necessarily work. You can't be great at jumbo loans and USDA and VA and FHA and sell that to everybody. So what I do personally is I dig really, really deep into VA, and that's what I have perfected. That's why 75% of my business this past year was VA business. That's a huge, huge number, especially in Nashville, Tennessee. We have Clarksville, which is Fort Campbell, north of us, but 75% of my business, let me tell you, I'm not a low producer, so that's a ton of business that I'm getting because I branded myself that way. Most of all, branding gives you something to take pride in, your brand, your name, your business. Once you build that brand, it's something you can always push. Whether you're at A mortgage, B mortgage, or C mortgage, that brand always carries with you. You know, why wear the badge of somebody else and change that badge every time you move along and not instill what it is that we do as individuals? Does that make sense? Questions? How's that video looking? Look this slim.
How could it not look good?
Right, that's what I was thinking. Let me get over here in the dark. All right, I want to talk about one of my favorite brands. German Motor Works. This is a guy located in Nashville. He's the guy that works on my BMW. He does performance stuff, all this other crazy stuff. The reason why I have his slide here is because this is a perfect example of perfect branding. You could not be a car guy and know that this guy works on what type of cars? BMWs, Mercedes, German cars, right? If you notice here, German Motor Works, the colors of the BMW M series, you have the cog, so you know that it's car related. So can you see how something like this, spending time to put a brand together, really makes a big difference? You can get on Fiverr and get a brand, but it's not gonna look like this. You're not gonna have the same perfection. The other thing that goes with this guy, on the way here, I got some bad gas, and so I would accelerate fast, and then it would sputter. So I called him. This guy picks up the phone every time. I drop my car off at his house at night. He takes it to work, works on it, brings it home. I pick it up. His house is like 2 miles from my house. Why does this matter? He's went that extra mile to service me. And I will always take my business to him because of that. Corey's over there smiling. That white glove service though. And your brand reflects that. So this guy, everybody knows, hey, this is what he's willing to do for his clients. Now as a VA specialist, if you're willing to go the extra mile and your brand sticks with that, people will know that that brand represents something bigger, something more important than what other people have. You can end the video now. Not too much for everybody.
Thanks for tuning in.
Hold on, before you end it, if you guys want to schedule a class in the future, please send me a private message. I'd love to come in and do a class for you and your team. Perfect. Now, see what I did there? The whole reason why I did that live video is so every agent in my market can see that and say, hey, I want him to come and teach a class for me. I start all my videos the same. They all start as ajnashville.com. We go into meat and potatoes of things. All right, so branding. Who is your perfect customer? I would hope for everybody in here, a veteran is. If you can identify that perfect customer, you can start gearing your branding towards it. So that perfect customer, you can't say on Facebook or any other platform to say, hey, I am an expert at VA mortgages. And then tomorrow you say, hey, I'm an expert at jumbo mortgages. And then the next day say, hey, I'm an expert at first-time home buyers. You're sending mixed messages. Identify your perfect client, focus on that perfect client, move forward with it. Do your online videos appeal to the end user? So, I identify my perfect client as being a veteran. Am I gonna get online and talk about snowflake activities? Am I gonna get on there and say, I was so offended today. I was at Starbucks and I was getting my coffee and a girl looked at me and I felt like she offended me because she looked down at my But the thing is you want to appeal to that crowd. You know, I know my veterans like fast cars, guns, extreme sports, things like that. So my videos revolve around that. I don't jump online and say, hey, I'm a VA specialist, come do your loan with me. I'll get online and say, you know what? Being a mortgage guy, I'm able to take half a day off and go shooting. Being a mortgage guy, I'm able to do this. My flag that sits in front of my office, I'm the only office with a flag in front of it. If you don't think I have a million different pictures of that flag on Facebook representing that I am proud to be an American, you'd be fucking crazy.
Who follows Alex's personal profile?
A lot of people. See? I feel famous.
You're famous.
I was in Kroger the other day. Jim can testify to this. I'm walking, this guy from way down the aisle is like, hey, AJ! I'm like, oh shit, what did I do? And I turn, he's a veteran, but he's like, dude, we gotta go, we gotta shoot down range, we gotta do this. I'm like, I have no idea what this dude is. But it's just that recognition. Then we were coming here and going through Hendersonville, which is about 45 minutes away from me. Real estate agent calls. He's like, bro, you gotta slow down in that left lane. He saw me in my car with the wrap on the back and recognized it. That's that branding. Once again, he saw the logo and everything. He said, that's Alex, I'm top of mind now. I'll probably get his next deal. Does your logo reflect this brand in your target client? Now, my logo doesn't have guns and knives and American flag or anything like that in it. It represents something clean, but it's also something that people know associates with veterans. When people see that logo, because the message I send, they think veterans, because that's what I always instill. Kind of like McDonald's. You think of McDonald's, they have fish sandwiches, they have the McRib, but you think of them for burgers, right? Taco Bell's for tacos, right? That's because that's what they instill with the brand. They don't have a giant burger on McDonald's little arch thing. All right, recognizing your brand. Is it easy to spell or remember? I run into agents all the time. Their brand is Corey Sells Home in Novi, Michigan.com. Who's gonna remember that? Or who's gonna type that right in their phone? They're fat finger and shit and they're saying, Corey, is it C-O-R-Y? Is it C-O-R-U-I? Is it K-O-R-I? You know, you want something that's easy to spell and easy to remember. Mine's ajnashville.com. Super easy. If you're in my area and you don't know how to spell Nashville, you're probably not going to qualify for a loan. And if you spell my name like A and then J-A-Y, go back to the first comment. Somebody like Fish. Fish, I've been trying to drive this example for him. You know how awesome it'd be to have MF loans? Like mentally, people that you want to do business with. Hey, you guys want an MF loan? You know, it's just it's one of those things that work. But not everybody can use logos or their initials. I think we had someone, who was it that was BS? Yes, you can't do
Brian
BS loans.
Stevens, that's
like,
so funny, dude.
Let me get you a BS loan. You know, you just can't do that. So the name and
Try to have TP.
Right. That's it. We'll wipe my a little bit more. Is it okay to cuss on this video? I try to censor myself, but okay. The thing is, so many people come to me and they're like, dude, what do you think of EA loans? I'm like, it doesn't work for everybody. I happen to be named something kind of cool, I guess, that worked with AJ Nashville, just kind of flows. So I wrote that out. You may want to look to do something different, like Rodiger. You've thrown a couple thoughts out there of what you want to do. It has your name in it, but it's catchy with what you're doing. You couldn't do CR loans. So try to think outside the box. The biggest thing you can do is hire a branding guy to do it for you. Tell him what it is you want, what it is you're trying to do, and let him come up with the logo.
Pay
or
them
her. And it's expensive. It cost me like $2,500 for a logo,
It's money
but it's
well
worth
spent.
it. Look how much money I made off of it, you know? Does the domain name match the call to action? So the thing is, if I'm introducing myself as, hey guys, it's Alex, ajnashville.com, obviously my domain name needs to be ajnashville.com. You don't want to have a domain that says alexsellshomes.com, but I'm branding myself as AJ or AJ Nashville or whatever it is. It's gotten to the point where people that I've known for years, they call me, they're like, hey AJ, tell me about this. I'm like, we're friends, don't call me that, you know? But it works. Same with the email. So it takes $5 a month for Google to put together a custom email domain. So instead of doing ajnashville@gmail.com, it's aj@ajnashville.com. $5 a month. The easiest thing. I'll tell you, anytime I get a quote from somebody and they say, yeah, my email's I'll fix your roof @gmail.com. I'm like, nope, not you, because you haven't taken the time to care enough about your business in order to establish that. Really simple to do. Does it match your Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram? Can anybody tell me why that would be important to match everything?
Millennials, this is your chance.
Right. Well, the biggest thing is if I search AJ Nashville, the thought is, well, that's going to be available everywhere. So then they jump into Instagram and it matches, and they jump into Twitter and it matches, and they jump into Facebook and it matches. And it's just pressing that brand over and over and over again.
And it drives more traffic to the website.
Exactly. Well, and there's retargeting, there's a million different things that we'll probably do like in the breakout sessions. If we talk about deeper things with marketing, we can get into. There's a million different things you can do with all that stuff though. All right, how many brands do you have? So let's face it, realtors. I sell road and fields or whatever it is. I sell real estate. I do so sassy product. You know, there's a million different titles, but there's not one that they narrow it in and say, this is what it is I do.
Thrive.
Yeah, we do this for a living. Our goal is to help veterans. The Military Mortgage Boot Camp title, I put that everywhere. My 40 under 40 plaque thanks Military Mortgage Boot Camp for the knowledge I gained to get to that point. The thing is, you can't have several different brands or sell several different things and still try to brand yourself. I have these brands up here for a reason. Taco Bell's tacos, Wendy's is burgers, Burger King's are burgers, KFC is chicken, Pizza Hut's pizza, McDonald's, you know, all these things we can identify and say, if I say, hey, do you want to go have some tacos? You're not going to be like, yeah, dude, let's go to McDonald's. They got great tacos. It's just not something that's correlated with that brand. Does that make sense? When you have your KFC and your Taco Bell's joined, they have two separate menus on the same platform. Why? They're two separate things. Same goes with your brand. You don't want to confuse people by saying you do a multitude of things when you're trying to perfect one. Does that make sense?
I have a question. Alex.
Yes, sir.
So I'm staring at an agent's profile right now, and would you
Why?
advise this agent to continue with this strategy? So item 1 on this profile is realtor. Item 2 is delivery person at Grubhub.
Nope.
Item 3 is chauffeur at designated driver service. Item 4 is Uber driver.
Okay, so if I am your consumer, I'm gonna look and say this person doesn't do well enough in their primary business to have just one job. Even if they have all those different businesses, just put, I mean, what's Uber driver? What's the importance of that on Facebook? Like, nobody cares. No one's gonna be on your Facebook and be like, bro, you drive Uber? Come get me.
See, can I have it set up a personal account, man?
Right,
Do I get a discount?
But it does nothing for that person except tell the consumer, hey, I have to do a bunch of different things to make ends meet, including driving a low-budget taxi service. You know, there's nothing wrong. If you guys are Uber drivers, I'll call you later on. But it's you can't have the several different things going on. You're either a real estate agent or you're not. You're either a loan officer or you're not. You know who fails in this industry all the time? Part-time loan officers.
And
Jim,
part-time agents.
Yes, Jim, and when you started, the first thing Jim said, or one of the first things was, I think I'm gonna get a job doing something on the weekend so I can apply more money to my 401k. And I said, I'd rather you not do that because you can't be successful at both. He's like, but I'll put money back from my 401k. Spend that time to find another deal. That's what we need to do. And that's what we need to let the audience know we're doing. All right, marketing items. This is a big thing for me. Everything I have is branded, and here's why. I have never received a phone call from Tommy Hilfiger, from FUBU, Well, definitely not FUBU because I don't wear it. But never received a call said, hey, thank you so much for branding my shit. I'm gonna send you a check. I'm gonna pay your rent. I'm gonna pay your mortgage. I'm gonna pay your light bill. I'm gonna buy you food. Never. My brand pays the bills. So when I'm in a place like Chipotle one day, I have a big lifted truck, and on the back I had a custom-made hitch that says AJ on it. This guy comes walking in, I see him the whole time staring at it. He comes in, sees my shirt, asks me what it stands for. We start talking. He's moving there from Orlando to that area. Guess what? This shirt made the correlation, which is my brand, which now paid me. But if you're gonna do it at a high level. So next level shirts is what I use. Everybody that's worn one of my shirts asks for another one, or they wear it frequently.
They come due.
Right.
Think Fish and I are due.
And I come out with new colors all the time. New colors, new logos, 2 of them or not new logos, new colors on the logos, new colored shirts every quarter to keep it fresh. So people are like, dude, I need to get that new shirt. Then they have 4 or 5 in their closet. What are they wearing on a regular rotation? I have a walking billboard. Now when someone stops and says, hey man, what's that mean? They can say, oh dude, he's a mortgage guy, you gotta talk to him. You're a veteran, you gotta talk to him, man, he's awesome. Best investment I ever did was shirts. And guess what? I have this plan to lose weight. I know it doesn't look like it.
You look good, bro. You look good.
Yeah.
You do.
The black, man. I have this plan to lose weight. And so once I do, I'm going to get online and be like, I've got 500
Speedos.
2XL shirts. Who wants them? And I'm going to give them away to other people and it's going to circulate around town more. I've had people call me and say, dude, there's this hot girl at the gym. She's got one of your shirts on. I'm like, does it fit her? You know, trying to figure if I left it or no. I'm just kidding. The cards and stationery. I go through a company called Moo. Moo has.
I love this
best
group,
delivery. Yeah, this video is gonna have to be cut to a million pieces. But cards and stationery, I go through Moo. Why? Because it's a high quality business card. My business cards are about 3 times the thickness of anybody else's. Color-wise, they're a top-of-the-line color. They cost about $80 for 50 of them, but guess what? One deal. It's all it takes. One person to pass my card to somebody else, because here's what
I
happens.
want to thank you. I'm going to show this real quick. And I'll pass you guys out. It's this. This card right here, and I'll give everybody one. This was because of your idea. Fish didn't feel that bad boy. That is born from you.
Yeah.
It's solid, it's thick, it's smooth, it's flashy, and simple at the same time.
Right.
That was totally came from him.
And it's
Lives and separates.
and they're thick.
This and separate.
So when you hand it to somebody, every person I've handed my card to, I see them do this with the card because it's thick and it feels like good quality stock.
Yeah.
As a person who gets business cards all the time, guess the first ones go in the trash. The little itty bitty awkward ones, the rectangle ones, those all go in the trash. Why? Because I have no place to put them.
Right.
The cheap business cards go in the trash. Why? Because you don't take pride in your business enough to spend a little bit of extra money on a business card. The ones that Hancock gives me, those go to like waitresses and stuff. Those are the ones I use to market in the masses, where I'll show up somewhere and drop a bunch of them. But they still have, they still have my logo on the back.
Oh my God. Pause button, dude.
Hey, this is for a group of people that enjoys working with veterans.
Hoorah,
If something I
hoorah,
say
hoorah.
offends you, this probably isn't the right
I love it.
client for you.
Exactly.
So, stickers and poly mailers. Here's the great thing. Every time I send one of these, it goes in one of these, and every person that touches it sees that. It's got the website on it, so if they get curious, the postmaster's walking through and they're like, what the heck is this? They can look it up on their phone real quick. Takes them right to my landing page, which then in turn takes them to the channels I want it to go to. There is a portion on it that says, are you a veteran? If you're a veteran, you click that. It goes to my veteran page, but I only advertise one page. Polos, I only do Nike Dry Fit or Under Armour. The reason being is because Nike's check is on the shoulder, so I can put my logo on the front without interfering with 2 different logos. Wristbands.
You know what? That is really good information, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
Really good info.
you're not competing. Plus, there's quality. So here's the
Yeah.
thing. When I'm going along somewhere or I'm at a golf event, which I don't play golf, I play sports that take 2 balls, but motorcycle racing, stuff like that.
Golf takes 12 balls.
Right? That's true. I don't want to be around that many balls at once. But anyways, that was just a lame stat because I can't play golf. That's nothing against the golf guys. But people recognize that quality. They see a Nike shirt and they say, okay, that's a good quality shirt. He's not running around with a champion shirt, so what's that logo mean? It sparks that interest and it shows quality. Wristbands is something new I ventured into. I'm doing that more for people when we do events. Like I'm doing an event coming up called Wieners with Warriors, and it's gonna be veterans coming together. We're gonna have a cookout, hot dogs and stuff like that. We're gonna get employers to come in and everyone's gonna mingle. And my goal is to bring veterans with employers to make connections, so hopefully if something happens, they can get a new job. But
That's awesome,
with
dude.
Warriors is something that I coined, and I'm like, that's a great idea. The wristbands will dictate if that person is a veteran or an employer. So people can easily look at the wristband
Dude, that's brilliant, AJ.
and say, hey, that's a black wristband, that's an employer. That's a blue one,
Well
that's a
done,
veteran.
dude.
Make sense? All right, top brands. We use top brands because of the fact it's a reflection on ourselves. My wine that I had bottled is like $35 a bottle. Every person that touched that wine was like, this is the best wine I ever had. Questions? Oh yeah,
Are we gonna get a copy of this?
I can give you a copy, yeah.
That'd be great.
Onesies.
I already uploaded it actually in
So
the
I-
MBC alumni group.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah, and if you guys ever need help with this, just call me. Send me a private message. Just say, hey dude, I forgot where you said you got this. Tell me again. You guys aren't my competition. This is a team. And so we build each other and we help each other.
AJ, what's the poly melon?
These right here.
What is that?
So they come from a sticker meal. What they are is, have you ever gotten something in the mail and it's like in a big plastic type envelope?
Yeah, like a T-shirt or something.
It's like a FedEx envelope.
That's exactly what that
Okay.
is.
And what are you mailing in?
T-shirts.
Okay.
So I do competitions. I'm like, hey, who wants to win a T-shirt today? Do me a favor, share this, like this, and put your favorite sports team that's playing this weekend. And I'll send one winner a free shirt. And so all the people get engulfed in it. Somebody gets a free shirt, but they see this all over the web, and then that gets passed around the post office and everywhere else, which post office employs a lot of veterans. So as it's getting passed around the post office and people are seeing it, they're thinking, what the hell's that? And they pull out their phone and they may look it up. I just need one person to do it, and it pays for itself. Yes, sir.
Are you getting a lot of, like, do you get tagged all the time when you know, for like, look what I just got.
Yeah.
Thanks, dude. And that just helps build your brand even more and you're not doing it?
Correct. So that's on request. I automatically ask that anyways. You know, I would say, Eric, congratulations, dude, you won the shirt. I'm gonna send it to you. Do me a big favor. Take it somewhere, take a picture of it somewhere that's awesome. You know, if you're on post or something like that and there's a tank, take a picture in front of a tank. If you're in New York, you're on top of a building, take a picture on that. Because people look at that and they see that brand. Then they tag me so all their friends see it and then all my friends see it. Does that make sense? Onesies. I did this. Everybody takes pictures of babies. And that's the big thing. And what do? They hand baby clothes off. And what do people that have babies typically do? They buy houses. So it's genius. And I'm sorry to call myself a genius, but it's kind
That
of
is
smart.
genius, dude. That is really good.
We did dark colors because white colors get stained and thrown away. We did bright colors on the logo so it stands out more in the pictures. So now when Kelly had a baby, I sent her one of these. And it was Kelly, right?
yeah.
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 Kelly Belcher.
She took a picture of her baby with it on, and everyone's like, oh my God, it's so cute, blah, blah, blah. But that subconscious mind saw that logo a bunch of times.
I
and
just
it's
thought you were going to
recognition.
have 3 more kids.
I thought she just named it after you. AJ.
He was going to, and then he found out he's not Mexican. So.
Well, here's the thing. I would rather cut myself off with a chainsaw and have a third child. So, but yeah, so these get passed around, so I do 3, 6, and 12 months. And the reason why, 6, 9, and 12 months. Because newborns always have tons of clothes. Everyone shows up to the new party, they're like, oh my God, congratulations, here's a bunch of newborn clothes. And so these get kind of buried in the mix. We do them later on where they're actually starting to have to buy clothes, and they'll actually utilize them for free.
That's ingenious. You are a genius, dude.
That's right. All right, next slide. Unique closing gifts. When I hand this to a veteran, they're like, oh my God, it's the most awesome thing they've ever seen. It's the American flag, and here's what I say, and I give them a regular flag. I say, thank you for your service. You fought to defend this. I want to be the person that hands you your first flag that you fought for so you can hang it on your brand new home. And everyone's like, wives are getting teary-eyed and shit, but I do it because I mean it. You know, that's the thing. If you're not genuine, don't do this. You have to be genuine and truly believe that, hey, I served someone who has served, who has, like Jay said, signed up to take the ultimate sacrifice. So when you hand this over, they can feel that meaning, that, hey, this is something that I really enjoy. This is something I enjoy doing. Here's something that's meaningful, okay? You don't have to use this company. This is the company I use. The work's incredible. The delivery is awesome. I usually do like 10 at a time, so they're on hand. Intentional. So, marketing items are expensive, we know that. You order 50 shirts, it's gonna cost you about 600 bucks. When you do shirts, please have them double stamp them. So all my shirts, if you notice that shirt there, how long have you had it?
Probably like almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years. Do you see that logo cracking? Show them the logo on the back, please.
I think the back is a little bit from being washed.
Yeah, you probably wash and dry. I hang dry because I'm weird. But the logo's not cracked. There's not red bleeding through. It doesn't look bad. And the reason why is I have them prime the impression and then stamp the impression. It costs extra money, but guess what? He's gonna have that shirt for 2, 3, 4 years. That means I'm spending less money giving him a new shirt every time one wears out. So I save money. Make sense? Be strategic. So the thing is, you don't want to stand at a trade show and say, you want a shirt, you want a shirt, you want a shirt? My closings, they get shirts. And they hold them up at the closing so people can see, hey, that's that brand again. They enjoy the shirt. Your wife, does she like her shirt?
Yeah,
Do you like your shirts?
I do.
You don't have to say yes just because we're riding home together.
I'm gonna stay here.
The other thing is utilizing your sphere. Here's the thing. If a person walks up to Corey and says, man, what's that shirt mean? He is gonna vouch for me like no other. Because Corey and I are friends. And he's gonna say, man, he's a great loan officer, he's located out in Nashville, Tennessee, blah, 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 blah. And that person may have a buddy that just happens to be moving down there. Maybe not, who knows? But by utilizing my sphere, I'm getting positive feedback every time somebody asks about that shirt. Make sense?
Sure.
Cool. Oops. Website landing pages, what links are important? Is your web address easy to remember? Is it in compliance and is it mobile friendly? So, ajnashville.com has changed a little bit from this. This is our initial mobile page, okay? So when you're on your phone, it will appear just like this. When you're on the computer, it will appear full size, everything's in high quality, nothing's pixelated, nothing like that. My web address is ajnashville.com, super easy to remember. So, let's say, in theory, I'm at the gym. And I'm working out. 600 calories into the workout, I turn and the guy's like, dude, what's your web address? Or we're talking about me doing mortgages and he's like, you got a card on you? No, dude, I got gym shorts on me that don't fit anymore. I can't stick cards on here that make me look thick. But I can say, but you know what? You can go to ajnashville.com and you can follow me on Facebook from there. You can follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on Instagram. And that's very easy for them to remember. So they're walking back to the locker room, they're like, AJ Nashville, AJ Nashville, AJ Nashville. And they get there, they remember. They go to the site, they friend me, and now we're buddies, and now they're seeing all my content. Okay? Is it in compliance? Now here's the thing. This is a separate company. So this is it's AJ Nashville LLC is what it's now become. And it's entirely separate because I don't want the CFPB to come in because they're witch hunters and be like, bro, this ain't gonna work. This is illegal. Well, see what it is I own a marketing company now. And this is my marketing base.
Well, they just slashed their budget to 0 a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I'm gonna go change my page. Yeah. But because this is a separate entity, I don't have to put banking and NMLS and this, that, and another. Now, when you go to the veteran portion, all that's in compliance. Why? Because it has to be, because I talk about mortgages there. Oh, the other thing is with that, too, make sure, you'll see that actually in a later slide, I'm sorry.
Where's your Facebook page link going? Which do you have a business
Personal.
page?
I do have a business page, but here's my feeling on business pages. How many of you guys have ever gotten a request, hey, follow me on my business page?
No thanks.
Exactly, what do you do? Nice, buddy, fuck it. Like, unsubscribe.
Yep.
But you'll follow me on my personal page when I put things like, man, just got this new gun, I'm going out and shoot it today, or man, Corey and I are hanging out, you know, his friends are gonna see it, my friends are gonna see it, or man, check out this awesome car, or whatever it is. Because that's content you wanna see. The big thing is with that content, don't get in there and say, I'm a loan officer. Guys, I'm a loan officer. I do mortgages. Nobody wants to see that. That's advertisement. The only thing people watch for the advertisements is the Super Bowl. And none of you have a Super Bowl ring. I mean, it's simple.
It could happen.
It could.
Hey,
It could.
you listen, dude, you're talking about Ohio and Michigan. None of the fans have one either.
Right. Here we go, Nick.
We didn't have a win. What are you talking about? A Super Bowl?
Dude, you
Only
guys
16.
lost to ITT Technical Institute this year.
They had all seniors.
All right, so branding more than one site, should it be done? The quick answer is no. I would never recommend you having veteranmortgagepro.com and ajnashville.com and trying to dish out the two different ones. Why? Because I'm a veteran guy, for one. So I want you to know that when you go to my site and click I'm a veteran, because if you're a veteran and you see the call to action that says I'm a veteran, what are you going to click? Veterans. You're going to click where it says I'm a veteran? Exactly. I don't have to brand that. I can brand the base page, which takes people to the other pages. This one site needs to be easier to remember, ajnashville.com. One site is easier to brand. One site saves on confusion, and you can redirect from site to site. So you could have multiple sites. Like me, when I bought ajnashville.com, I also bought all the other random ones because I also own a motorcycle race company. And so out in Washington decided to start a motorcycle riding company with the same name. And that's when I learned my lesson, because they picked up the .net, and I'm like, and everyone's hit me up like, dude, you didn't tell us about your motorcycle coaching class. I'm like, it's not mine, but I can't do anything about it. So if you buy a domain name, buy them all. .coms, .cos, .nets, .everything. Especially in our business, because I'm vindictive enough to where if you screw me over, I own myoldSouthHome.com. There's a builder in Nashville called Old South. They screwed over my loan officer assistant. I bought that domain so we could build it out as an anonymous domain about all the problems he's had. They should have bought that, in theory. I'm vindictive. All right, if you're gonna build a site, build one that kicks ass. I see a lot of people that have a site and you look at it, you're just like,
So you're saying we can buy like rocket.co, rocket.net?
if you want to. At some point, it becomes a waste of money. At some point, you have to draw the
We
lines.
would
If
be
not,
like
you're
drawing them back to a reputable lender.
right, and you could. You should always
They've already all
redirect.
been purchased.
Right. Pay attention to small detail. Notice up here it says, "Thank you for your service." That's when they're going to click out of the screen on their mobile device. That's when they see that. Do you not think that's going to catch an eye a second time? If a veteran sees that, he's scrolling through, delete, 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 and then sees that at the top? It might not. It just needs to happen once. Make sure your site's visually impressive. You can see the colors just on the mobile version. This actually fades all in. So when you go to the site, it's black, and it fades all into this color. And make sure your site has a call to action, which we'll see on the next page. No, we won't. Never mind, I took that slide out. But there's links in there where I can train a class for you if you want me to. So I can come to your real estate office, you click the button, you schedule a time for me to come out and train a class. I always keep my calendar open, entirely open, for this to link up to. Because all I want you to do is reach out to me and say, hey, I want you to train a class. If I'm busy, I'll reach back out and be like, oh my God, my assistant messed up, I'm double booked, can we do it a different time? Because if not, they may move to the next one and be like, well, Tuesday's not gonna work for him, let's find somebody else. So I leave it wide open. People are always watching. This is huge. So I take my kids to a daycare in a very affluent area. And one day I was walking in, I just bought my white Tundra. I set my black one. And some random guy, I had no idea who he was, with two kids, he's like, dude, what'd you do with the black truck? I'm like, who are you? How do you know I have a black truck? But what thought rang as soon as he said that is people are always paying attention to you, no matter what. If I'm walking around with this branded shirt on and I'm being an asshole, someone's gonna take a picture of that shirt and say, this guy's. If I'm driving my car or my truck and people see the wrap I have on the back window, they're gonna say something about it. I have to drive respectfully. I can't cut people off. I can't go however fast people that break speed limits go. Because I have to represent that brand well. So never give your stuff to somebody that you think is going to bring that down or make you look bad. Always try to keep it consistent. And that's the other thing, keep consistent with your message or stay consistent with your message. So it falls back into, you're either a VA mortgage specialist or you're not. You can't be a multitude of different things. That's being consistent with your message. Deliver positive messages. I never, ever, ever get in a political or religious conversation on Facebook. Why? One, you're never gonna win. When has somebody been on Facebook and be like, bro, my God's better than your God? and someone's like, you know what, you're right. Holy.
Simplify.
Or Trump's better than Hillary. They're like, oh my God, why didn't I think of that? Nobody does it. But you know what happens is you lose half your business. Now, granted, I don't want to work with a certain type of person. I won't reveal who that person is.
Well, even if they agree with you, they don't want to touch your. They don't want other people to see that they're agreeing with
Right.
you. So it's like almost 100%.
And agents are the same way. They don't want you to get on there and be like, Trump, 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 Trump. And then they believe in something else, but they're getting hated on because this person's. You know what happened to me about 4 months ago? A buddy of mine sends me a private message. He's like, you work with this piece of and I'm like, what is he talking about? And I go and look, and it was an agent that was bashing a client, severely bashing a client. And I'm like, holy because it looks bad on me. And my buddy is like, you work with this piece which lets me know that people are watching, that they know who I work with, and I cut her off completely. I did my first podcast on her. She hated it. But I didn't mention who she was or anything like that. So you always want to deliver positive messages. Get up in the morning and say, man, it's a great day today. Learning things at Military Mortgage Boot Camp, it's going to be awesome. You've reminded people you're in the mortgage industry. You gave them something positive to think about out of everything negative in the day. And you've got your message out there to build that edge rank to continue to grow. The political and religious we already talked about. Who does podcasting in here?
You.
Just you.
Me, just me and Travis. All right, here's what podcasting does. Okay, we'll talk about these steps first actually. How to get started, very simple. Get a mic, get a computer that you can talk into and find a place to host it at, okay? You don't have to go all out. I have special microphones, special monitoring headphones, a designated computer, a Mackie mixer. You don't have to do that, but people that know me know I go really, really into something when I get into something. All you need is, I think Amazon has a $90 kit with a mixer, which the importance of a mixer is more than one person on a single call. You have to have a mixer to do like Skype meetings and stuff like that. Where to host it? I host mine at blogtalkradio.com. It's $32 a month, unlimited uploads. It integrates with iTunes, Google, all those other ones, so it's very seamless. It also integrates into my website. So every time I post another one, it pops up. How do you find people to interview? This is really, really easy. I used to sit there and rack my brain like, holy shit, who am I gonna get on this week? People start hearing your podcast and they're like, dude, I wanna be on your podcast, I wanna be on the next one. And so they volunteer to come out and be on your podcast. I've got a guy that was a federal agent in Detroit. He's like, dude, I wanna be on your podcast. I'll come to Nashville to be on your podcast. I'm like, you gotta have some interesting to talk about. You know, federal agent in Detroit. So you just find different people, walks of life, stuff like that. The thing is, when I have a real estate agent come in, we don't talk about them being a real estate agent. We may talk about their struggles. I have a lady right now, both her parents died of cancer in the same year. We're not gonna talk about real estate, we're gonna talk about the struggle she went through and what she's doing to kind of keep their memory alive and her charity work and stuff like that. So people tune in and they listen. We did one with Jim about becoming a new loan officer, the steps he had to take, the mindset, the difference of him and other people. Interesting content, people listen, people like gossip, people like juicy content. Now, how is this useful? I'm sure a lot of you are sitting here thinking, it's a waste of time. But the thing is, I can talk to a Keller Williams broker or managing agent and say, hey, I'm gonna get you on a podcast because you run a team of successful people. And I wanna interview kind of your process of what it is that you do different that you're so successful. That guard goes down, the gatekeeper goes away, and they're like, sure, because they wanna talk about themselves. People still view podcasts as radio. This is the new wave radio. And so people view it that way, so people brag. They're like, I was on a podcast last night, it was awesome. I'm like, bro, we had 63 views. Wasn't that awesome? But they're gonna share it with their sphere. And people will start reaching out to you, they'll be like, dude, that was awesome. Can I come do one? Jim got on mine, and this girl that was an agent, she's like, he has such a large vocabulary. I would really like to work with him. I'm like, wait a minute, are you saying I don't? And you don't want to work with me? But he's a great compliment to that because we're very different. So finding a co-host is something easy to play off of. The big thing I did to gear up is I listened to a lot of different podcasts to see how they were structured and said, this is the direction I want to go. My podcast stemmed from Jocko Willing's podcast because I listened, I'm like, fuck, this is awesome. And I listened every single day. Then I bought a book about podcasting and I listened to it every single day. We were on the way up here, what did we listen to?
Jocko.
What did we listen to this morning?
Jocko.
Motivational stuff, get up every morning. Motivational stuff on the iPhone while I'm getting ready. Why? I'm gonna get up and get ready with a good, positive attitude. How much time will this take per week? It shouldn't take longer than an hour. You should do a 30, 45-minute podcast and then edit it, slam it together, ship it off. And then you can set them to upload at whatever date. I use GarageBand, which is Apple native, in order to edit. Really easy to do. Slam in your intro, slam in your outro, drop in the content, level out the volumes, send it up. It's really easy. Questions? I'm
Do you,
that good.
do you sleep?
Sometimes. When I'm drunk.
Not with me.
I have sleep apnea, so I gotta sleep with this funky machine, so it's really bad.
Is that branded too, the CPAP machine?
Not yet. What it does is like, it's on the back, so when random girls that...
Back of the head.
Alright, so video production. Who does video stuff in here? Consistent video. I know you do, you got a damn camera and headphones back there. Alright, so video production is very important. And the reason why is because you deliver a message. We have all been in the position where we listen to a video because we're not going to watch it unless something catches we hear something, we're like, holy shit, what was that? And you pick it up, you start listening, or start watching it. The message you can deliver on video at this point in time is not censored by Facebook, except for music rights. So if you get on there like I do and say, hey guys, awesome show this week, interviewed Jay and Fish from Military Mortgage Boot Camp, go to my site, ajnashville.com, and then close it out, Facebook can't press that down to where I'm not getting exposure. Actually, the video, they're pushing it up. But what I didn't do is put a link in my posting to where they say, okay, this is an outside link, he's pulling you out of Facebook, we're gonna push this away. Does that make sense? How often should you do videos? I do them all the time. I did one last night, I did one this morning. Like, people love my videos. I get in there, I did one like a week or so ago and it had like 1,100 views in a day. I'm not famous, but I'm sphere popular, you know? And that's the whole thing. So every shirt has this logo. Every video has this logo. Every beginning is the exact same. You can literally go through all my videos and just click the first 10 seconds and it's, hey guys, it's Alex here at ajnashville.com. Why? It's my brand. What should I use to edit video? I use Final Cut Pro. It's really unnecessary, but once again, best of the best. You can use iMovie. iMovie, you can load in an intro, you can put any verbiage you want on there, you can use Adobe as well for PC guys. But it's really easy to cut, drop, put in tracks. Like I have this one of my fish attacking this crab and have like a Tupac song in the background and beginning it's like, when you see your boy up in the club and someone starts trouble with him and then he goes into this music and you see this fish just attacking this crab. But it was simple, it took me like 20 seconds to do. What equipment is needed to start? You guys love this. You all have one in your hand.
Yep.
That iPhone, that Galaxy S8, whatever it is, pick it up and use it. Video sucks really bad. My first presentation I ever did, I was up here like, oh my God, shaking everything else. Same with my first video. I didn't want to pick up. I've done so many now that it comes natural. I actually got invited to do a pilot show, was it last week?
Yeah.
A real estate pilot show that's coming out. And everyone's like, dude, have you done this before? I'm like, no, I just do videos all the time.
Just to reiterate that too, we have a video production guy with our company.
Yeah.
And he was putting together a list for us of equipment to buy and stuff. And I'm like, should I buy this $1,000 camera? No. Your cell phone's just good enough. The new ones are just incredible. So
Yeah, the megapixels are higher on some of them. And I've got a real deal setup. I've got lights. I've got a room that I built inside of a room with soundproofing done to it. I've got a teleprompter. I've got the Canon camera that I never use. I always use my cell phone. So, I've got thousands of dollars of equipment that just sits there. But okay, so get into your video, but script it. If you wanted to do a video today, I would expect you to come up and be like, bro, I want to do a video. When the video starts rolling, I want you to hold your finger up so I know it's going. So we have a seamless intro. So I would say like this, and you say, hey guys, Alex here at ajnashville.com, because I know it started. There's also an outro. So when I say, hope you guys have a great day today, you know to hit finish, okay? I'm gonna tell you, all right, what I'm gonna do is take 3 steps this way, I'm gonna stop, and I want you to pan from here over to here. We pre-script everything. We run through it, we talk about it, we discuss it. My assistant knows exactly what to do with every video. But you're also mentally preparing yourself so you don't make mistakes. So you're running through the script in your head, and what you could do is get bullet points that you want to walk through so you have a guidance process. Because if not, you'll ramble. You'll be like, man, you know, I love cars. It's a nice day out today. You don't want to do that. You want to get on track, do short videos, no more than a couple minutes, and then move on. Questions? Cool. All right, conclusion. Find a brand that fits you and your perfect client, or one that matches with the message you are trying to deliver. We all have different messages. Some of you guys work with charities, some of you guys work with veterans, some of you guys work with first-time home buyers. Identify that and move forward with that message, okay? Don't confuse it with all the other stuff. Am I losing business by saying I do VA and that's pretty much what I do? I'm sure I am, but I'm also gaining a lot of business. People literally will call me and be like, do you do anything else other than VA? I'm like, yeah, we do it all. Like a mechanic, I may specialize in working on BMWs, but I can change oil on anything. So yeah, bring it in, let's talk about it. But my focus also gets people that I have no idea who they are, calling me up and say, hey, I got a new client for you. I'm like, who the fuck is this? Like I'm Googling them and stuff, I'm like, oh, they're not on Google because they do this part-time. Have a professional quality logo work and graphic work done. I used to be anti-Fiverr. Like, people be like, can I get it done on Fiverr? I'm like, fuck no, that's cheap, that's stupid, stop being a cheap ass. I like Fiverr for a couple of things now. Would I have them do my logo? No. Would I have them do a audio intro to a podcast? Absolutely. Would I have them do something flashy with my logo to where it's computerized and everything else and pay 40 bucks? Maybe it's green, maybe it's on Facebook already. Yes, I've done it. You know, the hard part's already done. I just need someone smarter with more time than I have to do some of the extra things I want. So don't be afraid to check out Fiverr. Like I said, I used to be all against that. But for low quality work, quick work, video production, stuff like that, stuff that's already established, they're perfect.
Yeah, I used to like talk to LO. It's like I was talking to Tony out in Spokane. Well, we get through Tony. He's like, "Oh, I'm going through this whole PowerPoint," and I'm like, "Dude, you spent like 3 hours doing that. You could have just had somebody in Fiverr do this for $10, you know."
Some dude in Nigeria, his name's like Mike. And you're like, "Hey, bro, I need this." He's like, "I cannot. Do you want this slide now?" I'm like, "What the f you just say, Mike?" All right, purchase items that people would wear regularly. The shirts, the koozies. Guess what? The koozies were awesome when I lived in an apartment complex that I paid $2,500 a month for. And I took out the pool and threw them on the table and they got scooped up in a day. What do I have? Pre-qualified people. You have to make 3 times the monthly rent in order to live there. You have to have good credit. So all these people have my koozies that I spent $100 for 100 of them, and they're all pre-qualified to some degree. All I need is one person to pick up the phone and call me. Bear that in mind. When you talk about expense, how many deals does it take to cover that cost? How many more deals that you get out of it increase that ROI that you have? Be consistent with your message. I always talk about veterans. I always talk about being a proud American, not because I want every veteran to come to me, but because I am proud. You know, there's no question about it, but be consistent with that message. Be your brand, rep your brand. No one else cares about your brand like you will. Once again, it's your brand, it's your baby. Do you think that anybody else is gonna push your brand harder than you will? The brand that feeds your family, you know? It's not gonna happen. I think it's done. It is. Let me show you a couple things real quick. Okay, real quick. This is my landing page. Smooth, colors are pretty easy on the eyes, everything's sharp. The logo on the background or the picture in the background is of Nashville. This is a picture a photographer took and adjusted for me, so it's my picture. The biggest thing is when you get a logo from places like Fiverr, things like that, you don't necessarily own the rights to this. I legally own the rights to everything on this page, except the Facebook logo, stuff like that. Text me. You can, from inside this site, because of the mobile version, you could open it up and text me. Literally click it and send me a text message directly from the site. It goes directly to my phone. Same with calling me. The calling me goes to my work phone number. Why? Sometimes I'm an asshole when I'm driving. I don't want people to be like, hey, you're in front of me, because then that turns into a problem.
What do you use on the back end for the text?
You know, that's a good question. You'd have to ask my branding guy.
Okay.
I tell him what I want, he does it.
Who's your branding guy?
By19, so BYONENINE. His name's Nathan Ruff. Yep. He probably cut you a real good deal right now because he just took a $17,000 job and took a Bitcoin for payment. And I don't know if you guys follow what Bitcoin. You can go to my podcast. So the podcast
You take a
updates on
Bitcoin
here.
for payment?
Yes. And it did this like right after.
Bitcoin
So this will
doesn't
take you to my
allow-
podcast here. So my podcast, I try to do positive things, talk to different industry people, stuff like that. You can subscribe and do all that from there.
Went from like, that's why you made that Bitcoin comment you
Oh, yeah.
posted. Went from like 20 grand to 10 grand in like 2 days.
Yep.
Did it really?
Yeah.
I don't
And
pay
then,
attention because I never believed it in the first place.
And don't. That's exactly why.
are you a veteran? This is, they clicked out of this site, they dropped them over here. And here's our different things. Here's our compliance information there. There should be links that are not showing up, which I'll get with them on. And then we have suicide prevention information. Here's my one thing. Care more about the veteran than you do about the dollar. The suicide prevention thing, who knows if somebody stumbles upon my page and they're not feeling great that day, and that saves a life. That's what's important, okay?
Plus, that just shows how much you care right there, dude.
Right.
That you're willing to talk about that with someone when they're looking for a mortgage. That just leaps out to me as a veteran right there.
Oh yeah, on the top of the tab, thanks for pointing that out, Nick, it says thank you for your service. And then you can do Instagram, which I'll jump in this super quick. I'm not gonna spend a bunch of time on it. My Instagram is very consistent. I don't have a ton of followers. Why? Because I don't do it as much as I should. But when I do post something, it gets a lot of engagement. I just don't do it like I should. All the stuff's the same. My post, did you America today with the American flag, fish. People know me for my fish. Here's my favorite. And then obviously, old AR. But it's all stuff veterans love. You know, guns. You like guns, vets?
Yeah.
You guys like cars? You like extreme shit? It's all right here. So this engages the audience and gets people involved. Any other questions or anything? Finding Nemo, motorcycle racing, it's all in here. This is my proud little baby right here, my 40 under 40. Voted one of the top mortgage loan originators under the age of 40 for last year. So, and then I tell a story. I'm as transparent as can be. If you guys want to ask me, have I ever done drugs? Yeah, of course. Have I ever gotten in a fight? Have I ever, did illegal things? I'll tell you whatever you want to know. And that's the thing that people like, is I'm very transparent. I have nothing to hide. We done?
Awesome. Guys, give a round of applause for AJ.